Hello! You better best buckle in because I'm gonna do, for me, the only thing worse than combining drugs and alcohol, and I don't mean I've tried that, I mean just generally you're told not to, and then I'm gonna do something worse. I'm gonna combine a team escape I don't think I've actually ever done before, and I'm not terribly good at these in the first place, so that I'm probably gonna do bad, with trying to tell a story that I had happen and happened to me, and I'm willing to say and be firm on is the single funniest thing I've ever been involved with. Excuse me for punching my microphone. Let's play. And I'm going to try to tell the story. Okay, so. Ooh, where do I start with this? So me, a friend, and my brother, we all, for a reason, went and visited a Lutheran church. I didn't know anything about them to begin with, but they are fairly, I guess, like there's a pattern to how the service goes. It's fairly formal and serious. Unrelated, actually, to the stories at hand specifically, I sort of messed up the rhythm that's expected there, and during the same day as this and visit as this story, someone said something like "Peace be with you," and I guess I didn't realize I was supposed to say something similar back. I was like, "Oh, you too," and it sort of confused them, and they seemed slightly annoyed. Anyway, that's beside the point. The funniest thing I've ever been involved with personally to date, since every day I've ever been born, but that's not what I meant. Yeah, so we were sitting down, the preacher was preaching, like they usually do, and I was leaning forward. Now, again, very formal service, everyone's dead quiet in this room, listening. I am leaning forward in this very old-fashioned pew, with a very old-fashioned pew in front of me, so that's how that works. I'm leaning forward, I am holding a pencil, one of the miniature pencils in the little pew back pocket for pencils in front of me, and I drop it. I drop said pencil. Now, I've been leaning forward for about 20 minutes. I've got my friend on my left and my brother on my right. They're just listening. They're not leaning forward. I had my elbows on my knees. What I didn't realize was my forehead was exactly 1 inch from the pew back in front of me. I dropped my pencil, and my first instinct was, lean down very firmly and grab pencil. I did that, and I did manage to grab the pencil. The problem was my head made such violent contact with the pew back in front of me. That headbutt echoed, reverberated throughout this room. And that's a spike strip. I let out the most almighty yelp, which I will not replicate here to not hurt your ears, because I'm not terribly careful with my audio volume. Dear golly, I yelped, and it was very clear what had just happened to my friend on my left and my brother on my right. And, oh dear, all three of us just completely lost control and were giggling and laughing like little children. And everyone around us is just sort of staring in bewildered amusement or annoyance. I'm not really sure to this date, and I don't care to know. The nice part is the preacher just ignored it and didn't even skip a beat and kept preaching and doing his thing. And yeah, that was the loudest, impossibly loud, most moronic headbutt of the entire history of mankind, or at least of me. And yeah, that hurt for a while, and I felt a little stupid. So that was fun. I enjoyed that. We've got 19,000 feet left, so I'm going to talk about some other things. There's another helicopter! I'm sick of helicopters in these freaking events. Okay. So, another thing. This wasn't funny. I was in 2nd grade, and where I live, or lived at the time, there are black widow spiders occasionally in the area, especially in things like garages. You know what's not a good idea when black widows live in your garage, potentially? Keeping a coat rack in your garage. That's what we did. Now, I was in 2nd grade. Anyway, so we had a coat rack in our garage. My dad had said that morning before I went to school, "Oh, I saw a black widow in our garage, and I tried to kill it, missed, and I can't find it." Huh. Well, I don't think anything of it. Put on a jacket, go to school. Halfway through the school day, I am walking in line, as children do, and the kid behind me screams. I look back calmly, look at them, don't see anything, look at the floor. The black widow spider from that morning is on the floor. So it's been in my jacket for half of the school day. I then scream because I'm in 2nd grade, jump back, and long story short, I think the 7th grade science teacher came and collected it, displayed it after school. And to my 2nd grade fury, none of the kids that weren't in my class believed me, especially the older kids. I stood next to it. Oh yeah, that was in my jacket. And yeah, they just kind of looked at me. Oh yeah, sure it was, bud. No, it actually was. So yeah, no one believed me. That was frustrating. You know, and in retrospect, people say, oh, well, black widow spiders, I think the general idea is they really don't kill hardly anyone. Yes, it's a painful bite. It's not good for you because it's venomous. Bad for you. I was in 2nd grade, so I'm a small child. There's one factor that you're more susceptible to potential death from a standard dose of a bad thing. On top of that, I'm a child, so as a 2nd layer, were I to start complaining about, oh, there's this pain on my back or something like that, I have a small suspicion I, more likely than standard, possibly would have died from it had I been bitten because the teacher wouldn't have believed me. And it would have caused a delay where, okay, now you're actually in pain, now we should maybe take you to the hospital, they don't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. That might have killed me. We're going to do the next B-Class Team Escape, and maybe I won't tell 2 silly stories the whole time. Or not. We'll see. Bye-bye.